lecture number 32, Random Files. In this lecture, you will learn how to open a random file. In the previous lecture, we have dealt with sequential file, text file. Now we come to binary files called random files. And you will learn to write and read data to a random file. You already know how to write data, etc., to a sequential file, text file. Now we are going to do it for random file. You will learn to search for a given record. Please remember, given record in a random file. So these are the three things we are going to do during this session. Now, what is the difference between a sequential file and a random file? As the picture suggests here, sequential file means I write data like this, one after the other, and to access data, I have to start from the first record till the end of the file. Whereas in the case of random file, as the name suggests, I can access third record or the sixth record or the first record at one stretch. I go directly to that record. Therefore, it is called random access file. So let us see how we are going to declare this random access files. The sequential files start at the beginning of a file and go through the data in a file till the end. So to search. Therefore, to access the 100th entry, I have to start from the 1 and go up to the 1993 and find the 100th entry. Whereas in that random access to data in a random file could be in any order. So we'll be able to access the 100th record or the 5th record and the 10th record directly. That is the advantage. Therefore, you take less time. You don't have to traverse through the whole file. You can go directly to that file, that record. So this is the advantage of random files. For example, here, therefore, this is sequential file from 1 till the end. To, for example, to search for the fourth record, I have to 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also called the direct access file. I can directly access the fourth element. So we shall see how we are going to do. But we have some questions. First, therefore, how do we open a random file? You already know how to open a sequential file and text file, same format. F open, the change is only in the mode. In the case of sequential files, we wrote WRA. Now we are going to write W plus R plus A plus. That means open an empty file for reading and writing, a random file. You open a existing file for reading and writing, both also could be done. So this could be in the case of sequential file, when it was in W, we couldn't do reading at all. So we had to only write data. But here W plus means you can read and write and read. And A plus opens the existing file for reading and appending. Again, the same format, but here W plus, and check whether you have been successful in opening the file. Otherwise, you say you cannot open the file and exit from the program. So question number 2, now we have opened the file. Now next question is, how do you write data to a binary random file? In the earlier case, we use fprintf to write. So here, instead of fprintf, we are going to use fwrite. Data buffer, the data which is there in the memory, that has to be written. And I want to find the size of what is the data buffer size? What is the size of that? And then count. That means one record. Usually we only put one. And this is the output file pointer, fp. So therefore, for the data buffer is the address of the structure. If S contains the student data, S is the structure, S is student type, it contains the data. I can directly write all the data, not one by one. I'm writing all the data together, and therefore they're called data buffer. I give just the address of data. This is the address array. I just give the address of the array. In other words, in the case of array, it is just the array name. So size of the data, use that function size of, we have used already. So size of employee or student, the data type. Count refers to the number of items read. Usually it is 1. This is count here, 1. And output file pointer, there is a file pointer to which I am going to write the data. Immediately we will have, for example, here we have created a employee data type, and E is the variable, employee variable. I am opening the file for writing and reading here. So then, for example, I am saying EID is equal to this number, name is equal to Sudhir, and base is equal to 10,000. So what do I do? This E E here, that record, E record contains this data, 3 data is there. I can directly write it to this file FP, file pointer here, which has been opened in binary mode for writing, say in random mode. So therefore I ampersand E, I give the address of E, then size of that record, and say only one record, and FP to the pointer. So this is how I'm going to write the data which is contained in that structure. Mostly we are going to use structure because structure contains all the variables together we have entered, and we just write the whole structure, data from the whole structure to the file. So one more example here. I'm going to open employee data. There I showed you only for one employee. Now we are going to write data of n employees. N, let us see. So first, so I enter EID name, as you remember, ampersand. Here there is no ampersand, basic. I write this data. So that is example here. I is equal to 1. I have entered that. I write this data. I write this data. So R1, first record is written R1. Now I becomes 2. I becomes 2. Again I entered this data. So this data is now same structure, same variable, because I'm overwriting on that. So now R2 is written here. Second is written here. Then record. Then I becomes 3. I becomes 3, and therefore I enter the third information about the data about the third employee, and that is written again. And I becomes 4. I enter the data of the fourth employee, and then F write. I write that to the random file, fourth one. So I becomes 5. I write the input the data. Please remember, only scanf. You know, if scanf, just scanf, and then I have scanned into data into that E this thing variable, structure variable, and then I'm writing that here fifth record is. This is how we write data. You can write, as here we have written it directly. You can also write to a particular record also, that we will see when we do editing a particular record. So writing record is done. So this is how first we open the file and write data to a random file. As remember, W plus, I can write and read the data. So with that we go to the third question. How do you read data from a random file? Now random file contains data. As you see, that contains structured data. All the data has been written. 5 records have been written. How do I, for example, advantages I said, in the case of random files, I can go to the fourth record or the fifth record or the first record itself directly. So to do that, my pointer is at the after writing all that, I want to have to rewind. Please remember that this is called rewind FP. That will bring the file pointer to the beginning of the file, and from there I want to read, for example, third file. I want to third record. Third record means this is the first record, second record, third record I want to read. So I use a command called fseek. Fseek what? In this pointer, file pointer, I give the how many I have to skip. So size of, this is the size of record into record number minus 1. 3 minus 1 means 2. 2 into size of record. So much of memory I have to skip. Therefore, if it is 3, that is become 2 into record. This is 1 record size. This is 2 record size. I skip so much, and then the 0 represents that from the beginning of the file. So that is, for example, record number 3. So let us see what happens. Record number 3, I am going to fseek FP size of employee into 3 minus 1 from the 0 means from the beginning of the file. So what happens now? Let us see. It goes this much. It is skipping 2 records. Why 2 records? Because size of employee into 3 minus 1 means 2. So it is skipping 2 records, and it is fetching that. Now it is pointing at R3. Now I have to use what is called the function fread. So I read this data into the structure E, and size of employee, because it is this much I have to read, and only one record, and then FP is from this file. So that is over. I have read it, and then you can display. Now suppose R3, you display the content of R3. Now, suppose I want to read the fourth record. Fourth record means this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Though they are numbered from 0, fourth record is this record. So therefore, I give it as fseek 4 minus 1. So it has to skip therefore 3 records. As you see, it is skipping 3 records, and the pointer has come here now at the fourth record, and it is going, the pointer is here at the fourth record. Now I use fread, and it reads, this data is read into this E, and then you get that R4 and you display the content of R4. So this is how you read the data from a random file. Now you're wondering what is the zero? Zero, I said zero means from the beginning of the file. If it is one, from the current position, you have come somewhere here, then you say so many records to be skipped, you can do that. And two means from the end. Suppose my pointer is at the end of the file, so you can come back by so many records. All that could be done. For us it is easier, we always use zero to tell that we are bringing we are reading the files from the beginning of the file pointer or the file. So with that we come to summarizing. So fread, data buffer, size of data, and count and file pointer. I have explained that. Same thing also here. Both, only the difference is fread and fwrite here. And please remember, after writing data, always you rewind, go to command to move the file pointer to the beginning of the file. Otherwise, you will have a problem. You are searching for a file record and your pointer is somewhere else and you are going to read some other record. Therefore, always good practice is after writing data, you use this rewind file pointer command, which I will show you immediately in the program which follows. And then you start seeking the correct file record. So write a C program use a random file to enter employee data for some employees and display the payslip for a particular record using the random access mode. Now you pause some time, you have learned all this. Now you do this exercise of writing data of an employee to a random file and get the ask for the record, not his employee ID. Can't do employee ID, you have to say record. So and then you access that record and print the pay slip for the employee. So here I am showing you. So I've got the whole structure here: ID, name, basic, DH, RA, tax, gross, etc., which you are familiar with. Now I'm opening here this employee.dat as a binary file, W plus as a random file. If I fail, I come out of it. Then clear, etc. How many records you want to write? So n records, maybe 5 or 10. So immediately I enter ID, then the name of the person, basic, immediately I calculate. So for example here 20% is DA, so 15% is HRA, 0.8% is tax. So I calculate gross and then calculate net, and that means gross is calculated, gross net is calculated, and then only I write. Now E contains all the data. We have entered only three EID, name and basic. I have calculated DHRA, etc. All that has been done, and this whole structure contains variable contains the data. I immediately write that data to the random file. So that all that data about EID, name, basic, DHRA, gross and net, everything is written to the file. First one, second one, third one, etc. It goes on. N number of data is written. Now you have print, this is what now, so I'm same thing, I've written the thing. Then please remember, rewind. I've shown this is the same thing I'm showing again. I'm rewinding. This is very important. Go to the beginning of the file. Now I want to print the payslip. To get the payslip, I have to input record number. Please note here, I cannot enter his EID and get that. Is no, that for that we have to do a little complicated. You have to associate EID with the record number, etc. You have to create one more file called the index file. That is going to be for you for your project. So record number I am giving. Suppose I enter 2. So immediately it seeks that record number -1. Please remember, minus 1, why it is I've explained already from the beginning. So I get that, I read that record. Now E contains the data from the file, and I'm printing all the data here. So this is what it's being done. So one example here, I've entered here, for example, uh, I want to enter three records. I have entered EID, name and basic salary, EID, name and basic salary, EID, name and basic salary. Then I want to print the pay slip. So enter record number. I'm entering, say, record number 2. Record number 2 means of this person, less than. So it has to read, therefore it is reading employee ID, it is reading employee name, printing the name, is printing basic salary, DA, HRA, etc., gross salary and net salary. So this you get an idea. So now you will be working on a project where you will not enter record number, but you will enter his EID, and from that EID you have to get the record number. From the record number you have to search the random file to get the data of the person. So good, all the best, thank you.